Hi, hello. My name's Liv. I crochet and knit and I write crochet patterns, and this is my first full video on YouTube. I figured what a better way to kick off 2025 on a new platform than by going through my yarn stash and seeing how many skeins I have and setting a goal for getting rid of a certain amount of skeins, because I want to really focus on busting through my yarn stash this year. So you guys are going to come along with me while I go through and count and show and tell my skeins, and we're going to figure out how many we have and how many I want to get rid of that I think is like realistic. To preface this, anything that's in a cake already, a skein, or a hank, I'm just going to count as like one item to make it simple. That way it's not like super confusing at the end of the video, and it's going to make it a little bit easier for me to keep track of everything. So without any further ado, we're going to go ahead and get started on this today. I have 3 boxes right here next to me and another one on my right. We're going to go through those first, and then I'll pull out the rest and figure out what's in there. I also won't be counting any of the skeins I'm using in my temperature blanket right now because I have no idea how many I'm going to have left when I finish December. All right, so we're getting started with our first little bin here. Most of the yarn in here, I found all of it has been thrifted. I had a really good thrift find a while back, so most of these are caked or still in the hanks, and they have the labels on the inside, so I'm not going to know like exactly which skeins are which, but I am going to go through and show them all to you guys. Do I call these skeins or balls? I'm just going to call everything balls to alleviate any confusion. So everything I pick up is going to be a ball. So the first ball that I have was thrifted, and I can actually pull the label out of this. So this is from Underhill Farm. It is 100% wool. And it's in this like almost like hot grinchy green color. And I haven't done anything with this yet, but I think it's going to become like a little scarf at some point. Next we have a bunch of balls that I have caked up of sock yarn. We've got 4 of them here, so we're at 5 right now, and I have a lot more that I'm going to be pulling out that are in various states of being wound and put into cakes. We have this hank that I started winding before I got a ball winder, so it's looking a little rough, but I am going to go through and cake this eventually, so 6. This is from Hank's Yarn & Company, another hank of sock yarn, so 7. This is half used. I used half of this for a pair of socks that I gifted to my grandmother for Christmas, but I'm still going to count it because I'd say there's about 200 yards here, so 8. These are all miscellaneous balls and hanks of sock yarn minis. I have 3 right here and then 2 that I've already caked up, so more. All of these balls Feels Like Butter was also thrifted. 14, 15, 16, we're at 17 now, so we have 17 balls, and I'm already a lot farther ahead count wise than I ever thought I was going to be when I started this. And we have 3 balls of Lion Brand's Re-Up Cotton, so we're at 20 now. We have 3 more balls in a different colorway of the Re-Up Cotton, so we're at 23 now. I hope you guys can appreciate my little growing pile over here. 3 balls of Lion Brand Lush Suede. I had never seen this before, like in stores, so I'm assuming it's discontinued, but 3 balls of this, so we're at 26. Another little wound up mini hank of sock yarn. And then 2 little balls of what I'm assuming is like cotton or a cotton blend. So we're at 29-ish. That's it for our first bin. There are 29 balls of yarn in here. It doesn't look like they'd all fit, but most of it is sock yarn. So we're gonna move on to box number 2, and I'm getting really nervous to see what our final count's gonna be. Here's bin number 2, and we are just gonna jump in and get started. I think a lot of this was actually gifted to me, or I got secondhand as well. So we have 1 ball of loops and threads right on top. I love this yarn. That makes 2. Hat has definitely gotten into from I love this yarn. That's 3. Purple 4. I pull this all out. It's actually attached to a project. 5 and 6, and Karen Simply Soft. 7. 8. This was actually Karen Simply Soft at one point before my cat got into it. 9. I guess I used this for a desk mat video that I had done on TikTok. So I don't know. This might actually get put into a donation pile, but we'll count it for now. 10. A bunch of labels just stuffed in here. So these are gonna get pulled out and go in the trash. 11. This is a very bright yellow. I forgot that I had this. 12 is this variegated big twist yarn. I think I bought this for hats, so maybe I make a hat out of this. 13. 14. There are 14 skeins in this entire bin. Alright, so we have 14 skeins total in this bin, so that this 14 is going to get added to the 29 from the last one. So we are at 43 skeins total now. We currently have 43 total between the two bins, which is kind of scary. I didn't realize I was already going to be close to 50 after 2 containers. Alright, bin number 4. Let's dive right in. 1, 2. This was given to me. I know this one was given to me. I think my best friend actually gave this one to me. So 1, 2. A little bit left of this one. I'm going to count it as 3 because I have another full ball of this floating around somewhere. 4, 5, 6. This one was also given to me and I'm really obsessed with this color. 7 and 8, 9 and 10, 11 and 12. Got a lot of peaches and cream. 13 and 14. These are 2 individual cakes. 15 more Karen Simply Soft, 16, 17, which I'm not going to pull the full thing out because half of it's like in a mess in the bottom of here. 18, which is also kind of messy, so these 2 are just going to stay in the bottom of the bin. Okay, so we have 18 balls total in this, so we're going to add that 18 to the 43 and we're going to do the next one. So going into bin number 4, we currently have 61 skeins, so we're going to keep counting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, this is a very big ball, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Alright, so with our 12 skeins in this bin, we are now up to 73 skeins, and I haven't even dug into my big chest of yarn yet. Alright, at this point we have 6 more boxes to go, so we are just going to run through these. These ones aren't as big, so I don't think I'm going to be having as many balls per box as I did for the first 4. Alright, box number 5. So we have 1. These are 2 and 3. They're all kind of torn out. My cat got into these. 4 more Karen Simply Soft. I have a lot more Karen Simply Soft than I thought I actually had. I thought I had like 2 balls and I've already seen like 10. We'll count this little ball as 5. 6, 7. This is actually leftover yarn from a sweater that I knit at the beginning of the year. Another ball of the gray, that makes 8, 9, and 10. So our total now is 83. Box number 6, and this one's going to be messy. I have a couple projects in this box, so we're going to deal with that as we get through it. 1, 2, and 3 is going to be this project. There is a ball and a half wrapped up in this project, so we're going to say we're at 3 now. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and I have a bunch of other balls that are currently tied to a scrap sweater that's in this box. So I'm going to round up and say that we're at like 16 balls in this bin because they're all kinds of tangled and it's going to be really difficult to actually pull them out and count each individual one. So we're going to say we have 16 in this box. I have 11 right here. We're going to say there's 5 more in here. Box number 7. More black for our first skein. 2, 3, this is cotton. I don't know what kind of cotton, but this is cotton. 4, 5, this is actually leftover K&C cotton from this tank top I have on under my jumpsuit right now. 6, 7, 8, and 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13. This box has really made me realize just how much of my yarn my cat has gotten into over time and how much of it I haven't bothered to untangle and that I have just shoved into a box so that I didn't have to deal with. So maybe I'll make another video going through and putting these back together. Alright, so we have 3 more bins to go through and right now our total is at 112. I wanted to refresh you guys on our total before I moved on through our last couple of boxes because I stopped actually counting the total. Box number 8. 1, 2, this is only half of a skein of sock yarn, but I'm going to count it as a full ball. So I'm going to say this is 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12, 13, 14, and another half skein of sock yarn that I'm going to count as 15. Alright, so this bin number 8 is going to bring us to 127 total. I'm a lot higher than I actually wanted to be right now. The last 2 bins I have are very, very full and actually have yarn for projects I'm working on right now. So we're going to go through these and I will point out if any of these are yarns that I'm using in current whips. 3 balls right here of Hobie's Mohair Delight, and I am actually using these in the weekend sweater that I'm knitting right now. So we have 3, which most of these will I will get through. I think I'm gonna have like maybe 1 or 1.5 balls left when I'm done with that sweater. 4, this is actually left over from the Alpine zip sweater that I had just finished blocking at the start of 2025. 6, 7, and 8 are left over from a Christmas gift that I knit. 9 and 10, more yarn left over from this tank top. I had bought all of it. I think there was like 8 balls and I didn't know how much I was actually gonna need since the tank is all cotton, so I just bought what they had. 9 and 10, 11, 12, and 13 are actually mini skeins that I picked up on vacation in Tennessee this past year. Half of a ball left over of this peaches and cream, so we're gonna count that as 15. 16, 4 more balls to bring our total to 20. These were all bought on clearance. I only got these for like $1.12, which is like crazy to me. 21, more yarn left over from a Christmas gift. 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, and 27. This is a project I need to frog. I also got this yarn on vacation too, so I don't want to like throw it away or donate it. I just need to take it apart and put it into a different project, or actually reknit the t-shirt that I started knitting. Okay, so that last bin had a lot more yarn in it than I thought it would. I didn't realize that that bin was like 90% cotton. But we are at 160 now from all of the skeins that we had in that last bin. So we are gonna go and start counting our final bin of the day and see what our total count is. So we have 1, 2 right on top here, and 3, 4, oh gosh, 5, 6, 7, 8. We have 9 and 10, 11, 12, 13. This is actually macrame cord, but I'll count it as 14. I don't know what I'm going to use it for yet, but this is macrame cord. 15 and 16, the very last of my leftover plush yarn. 17 and 18. All right, we are all done counting, and our grand total is 178 skeins, at least from what I was able to grab and count. Like I said, my temperature blanket skeins aren't getting factored into this right now because it's not done, so I don't really know what I'm gonna have left over. But 178 is a lot higher. I thought I was gonna have like 70 or 80, like maybe. I didn't realize, 1, how many skeins of cotton yarn I have collected over the past 2 years, and 2, how messy a lot of the yarn that I have stored here is. This just goes to show you that you don't have to have like a really aesthetic method of storing your yarn. But 178 is a very big number compared to like what was floating around in my head. So I think trying to get down 20 to 30 skeins this year in 2025 is going to be a pretty achievable goal. Considering a lot of these are like single colored skeins too, is like the only, I guess, issue that I have, because most of the projects I make are sweaters and cardigans or like tapestry pieces, and they're usually bigger. So it's going to be a bit of a challenge to get through all of these, simply because I don't usually do a lot of projects that have single skeins. I think maybe I plan a scrap project or 2, a scrap sweater or 2. I do want to do the eye sweater. That's been on my list for a while, so I know I can use a bunch of scraps for that. I also think that I can start getting through some of it if I start making maybe like a scrap blanket as well. Simply because the nature of the projects I typically pick require like multiple balls of the same color yarn. It makes it a little bit difficult for me to kind of look at my stash and say, okay, I can get through X amount, because I don't know if I'm actually going to be able to get through those without buying other skeins to go along with them necessarily. But it's going to be a challenge. And I'm excited to see how much of it I can get through. Obviously, I'll update you guys at the end of 2025 with how much we actually got through, and I'm going to be keeping count every month of how many balls I've used and how many I still have left in my stash. So thank you guys for joining me for my first full-length YouTube video. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope you enjoyed seeing the mess that is my yarn stash, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.